Your optimal. Hi everyone, my name's Chris. It's 11:59. This run is guaranteed to last at least a year and possibly longer. We're gonna start it at exactly noon here on June 13th, 2022. Just to be super clear, over the course of this run, my computer's operating system is in Spanish, and the date displayed here is going to be day, month, year. Here we go. Woo! Okay, it begins. There we go. Right away, we're going to be going for two pretty crazy achievements side by side, which is hardcore. So we got to get to 1 billion cookies without purchasing any upgrades, as well as never click. Not true never click. So we got to get to 1 million, clicking only 15 times, which we just did to buy our first cursor. So I've spent a good amount of time playing in speedrun and cookie clicker, enough so that it was actually worth it to write software to find optimal or near optimal purchase routes. So right now, this is called nevercore in the code. So never click and hardcore together. And pretty much on the right here, we just have a list of purchases to make, and pretty much for our whole year of gameplay, I'm going to be using this as a kind of rough guide for what purchases to make and when. Game you should specifically, it assumes you buy one cursor and then shows, okay, so buy 4 cursors, buy a bunch of grandmas, and these columns on the right are how many hours into the game you should about be at when you make that purchase, and then I believe this is total cookies you've produced and your estimated current clicks per second. Okay, so to explain why this run is interesting or significant, I need to talk about shadow achievements a little bit in the game. So Cookie Clicker has hundreds of achievements, but there's a few shadow achievements that are particularly difficult to get. Specifically, one of these is to literally just manage a game of Cookie Clicker for a year. And we're going to try to do all the shadow achievements, all the normal achievements, all the upgrades, all the heavenly upgrades. The goal is to get every other achievement done before a year, so that this one is the last one we get, and we cannot do any better on a 100% speedrun of Cookie Clicker. Now there are 2 exceptions, which is third party and cheated cookies taste awful, because 2 of the shadow achievements are literally to install a mod and to cheat. So besides those 2 though, we're going to be doing everything. Here we go. First golden cookie. That's the one we wanted. So just this first part of getting to 1 million cookies with the just buildings and no clicking is going to take between 30 minutes and an hour, depending on how many good golden cookies we get. So if we get 3 frenzies, it should just take 30 minutes. If we get Click Frenzy or Luckies, 2 other kinds of golden cookies, for those new to more like an hour. We're going to be playing on Steam, but still, just in case we ever use the web version for some reason, no console, no Open Sesame. For those new to Cookie Clicker, if you just add says Open Sesame, one word, after your bakery's name up here, then you open a debug console and can give yourself all achievements. And if you look up 100% Cookie Clicker speedrun, the video is like 20 seconds and it's just someone doing that. Have to get all upgrades, heavenly upgrades, achievements, shadow achievements, besides the two we mentioned, which reminds me, no mods, no add-ons, and no changing the dates on the computer. So I'm just screen catching the actual date on my computer clock right here. And lastly, saving and reloading the game is allowed. So if you go here, you can export your game as a text file and reload it. This means that we will be what's called save scumming for this speedrun. Most people watching this are probably going to fall into one of two categories, which is one, you came here from Minecraft content or somewhere else and have maybe played Cookie Clicker for like a few days a few years ago, or you came here for the Cookie Clicker and you have years of active play time on the game. So for these videos, I'm going to have to do my best to not over-explain to the veterans and not under-explain to the people who are new. But save scumming, essentially, or just save state manipulation, is more or less where a random event occurs in the game and you can get... normally this would be so useful, but Click Frenzy is not our friend right now. Like that. And you save the game right before that random event happens, and then continuously reload the game until that random event turns out in your favor. And I mean, this is used in the Pokemon community, this is used in a bunch of other speedrun communities, and a lot of Cookie Clicker players do not like save scumming. I'm still straight up just following the route here. If you're like super opposed to save scumming though, then look at this speedrun as an opportunity though, because if this works, then this will be proof that save scumming is so scumming though, then look at this speedrun as an opportunity though, because if this works, then this will be proof that save scumming is so powerful that your speed of a completion of a game depends entirely on just meeting a hard time requirement achievement. Also with save scumming, this speedrun is just the right amount of challenging. So just look at this for a second. The biggest challenge for us in this speedrun is going to be sugar lumps, and that's because there's a large amount of achievements that just straight up depend on getting a raw amount of sugar lumps. And how quickly you get these is very largely out of your control. You start out getting about one every 24 hours, and after a month-ish of gameplay, you get them every 18 hours, at best, if you play actively. So to get all the sugar lumps we need for all the achievements is gonna take us a little over 2 years if we were to just pop in, collect them, and leave. If you play the garden, Wiki currently says it'll take you about 1.5 years to do this. Additionally, this math is still being done with 18 buildings, and there's now 19 because an update recently came out. So yeah, sugar lumps, no! Okay, that's all to say, this run is right on the edge where 1 year is like kind of the boundary of what may or may not even be possible. It's also summer here in Riverside County, California, where the temperature gets like 90s or 100s for most of the summer, for like the next 3 months, so, you know, I really needed an excuse to run my hot computer for like 8 hours a day. And I'll be honest, one of the reasons I really like Cookie Clicker is because I'm super into speedrunning, but have horrible coordination, so I do have a background in math and programming, so a game where speedrunning it comes down to like an optimization problem, and executing it pretty much comes down to clicking quickly in the same spot. I guess actually while we're just waiting, we can knock out some of the easier achievements. Done. My wife told me to name the bakery Python in honor of the Python program that is calculating our route. There we go. Go. Let's see, and then we want full screen off. And this is actually going to be the first new achievement. There we go. Stifling the press that was added in this last update. Go, Cookie Dunker. Oh, another rule. No auto-clicking and no fast clicking. So fast clicking is actually a really specific to term defined on speedrun.com for Cookie Clicker. Because there's actually like a spectrum of techniques between just, you know, tapping your mouse's click button and a straight up 1,000 clicks per second auto clicker. Like one common technique is you take your mouse, yes, and you remap the click button to the scroll wheel and then turn your mouse upside down and rush it along your table as fast as you can. And with that, you can get like 200 clicks per second without an auto clicker. We won't be doing that. So like pretty much the rule is with our, like, you know, we can use both hands, but the only way we can get clicks is by tapping the left click button on our mouse. Okay, here's the rules, man. Hey, okay. There we go. Well, now we can, let's just see. Yep, there it is. So now we can actually click on the dang cookie, but it's insignificant without upgrades, so not much has really changed, though. If we get a click frenzy, though, now it is useful. So this is, I guess, actually a decent opportunity to just kind of show how the software works. Is, like, don't worry, most of this speedrun footage will not be programming stuff. This is, like, just publicly available, so if any of y'all want to just go look up this code base, you can come check it out. But I have one program that, in a nutshell, just simulates the game of Cookie Clicker. And footage will not be programming stuff. This is like your optimal routes for idle clicking games, and this isn't just Cookie Clicker. I started work on Adventure Capitalist also. A bunch of files with version data, so like this is what, you know, where all the like upgrades, prices, and building rates is stored. And then we have another program here that just has some basic like parameters for different speedrun categories. So like down here, we just did Nevercore, and the target cookies is 1,000,000, pretty much near or 0 CPS. The math gets weird if you have 0 clicks per second, so I just set it to a really low number. Starts out with purchasing a cursor, and you're not allowed to purchase upgrades, so hardcore mode is in true. But now we're done with Nevercore, and we want to just do normal hardcore, which isn't actually going to be that much different, but you can see we can set our clicks per second to 8 instead of 0, and now the target cookies is 1 billion. Go here. Hardcore. Yep, there we go. And so here's our hardcore route. Into the Wild. First book is finished. I think it'll be interesting to see how many books I can read over the course of the playthrough. Hey! Oh. Huh. Cookie Storm did the trick, man. Cookie Storm did the trick. Ah, yes. The upgrades! So I have another route called Long Haul. What this pretty much does, it generates a route that goes as far out as it possibly can. Right now it's programmed to go up to 85 quintillion cookies baked, and that's just when our first ascension is going to happen. So because the game is actually really complicated, I made a lot of shortcuts when writing the code here, and so it does give pretty much ballpark estimates. I think we are, let's see, we just did bank 34, and you can see next we're supposed to save up for our next temple. But one of the things the software doesn't do is take into account the change in kitten effectiveness that your achievements give you. So kittens are upgrades that give you faster cookie production rate based on how many achievements you have. And so even though we're supposed to save for temple right now, what I'll sometimes do is just, if there's an easy achievement, like there are 50 mines, I'll just kind of grab it quickly. I'll look for low-hanging achievements that are easy to get, instead of sticking to the route, sticking to the route super literally. So dumb, but now it actually looks like I'm staring right at the cookie. So right now we're saving up for serendipity, and it's gonna take a while, so I figure while we're waiting on that, I'll go ahead and finish up coding the rest of the buildings and upgrades in here, because right now this only goes up to the quintillions and stops at fractal engines, so gotta add in the rest of the stuff. Alright, so what I went ahead and did was I programmed up all the buildings and every upgrade under 1 octillion cookies. Pretty much once we get to around an octillion cookies, so mid-game, strategy's not really going to depend as much on the specific order that we make our purchases in, but more so on the combos we get from the dragon and the garden and natural golden cookies. So yeah, we don't gotta worry about this. Is still only a third or a fourth of the upgrades and stuff, but we won't have to code up any more than this. I think after this frenzy, I'm gonna call it quits for today. Alright, it is the next morning, and our goal is pretty much to get as far as we can on the route before the sugar lump reaches maturity. Right, we're saving up for Essence of Dough right now. I'm still feeling pretty tired. I think I usually wake up about right now, so I'm gonna switch to the laptop just so I can go lie on the couch and click golden cookies and maybe fall asleep again. With the first day just about over, it looks like we've got 11% of the upgrades and 12% of the achievements, and we've started working on portals, so I'm going to call it for this video, and I'll see you all in the next one. Hey everyone, so welcome back. This is, we're just about to start the second day of our Cookie Clicker 100% speedrun, so this is going to be a 1-year speedrun. It's a long speedrun. So our first sugar lump is a few minutes away from maturing, and we are going to be using save scumming for this speedrun, and the sugar lumps are the first place where the save scumming is going to make a very big difference between non-scumming and scumming gameplay. Now, while we wait for that thing to finish maturing, the way we're going to do this is there's a bunch of different kinds of sugar lumps, and some of them are very rare, like the golden sugar lump takes on average like 2 years to get, even with optimal like upgrades for sugar lump production and rarity. Caramelized is a little bit more common, but you can see these give as many as 3 or as many as 7 sugar lumps. So meaning they add that much to your like currency counter for sugar lumps, which you can spend on upgrading your buildings. Now we have to upgrade every building, including the new Cortex Baker, to level 10, I believe. And that's going to require about, I think, 1,000 to 1,100 sugar lumps over the course of this run, which means averaging about 3 per day. Originally, I thought this was impossible to do without save scumming, but I just like did all the math super carefully yesterday, and what I realized is that it might not be actually. So I'm not going to try to do a no scum 100% 1 year speedrun of Cookie Clicker, but essentially you would only get 300 to 400 sugar lumps just from normal harvests, and you would have to complete your garden minigame. A minigame you unlock later that can give you sugar lumps 56 times over the remaining course of the year. On average, you'd have to complete it every 6 days, and so I asked the Cookie Clicker community on Reddit, and someone claimed that they've averaged over 50 completions of the garden, a completion every 6.7 days. So it might actually be possible. The big RNG gamble would be the golden sugar lump. In a year of gameplay, even with optimal upgrades for the sugar lump, you're still looking at only about a 50% chance. I suppose one strategy is like, you could basically just play a game like every day until the first sugar lump. If it's golden, you continue that for a 1 year run. If it's not, then you quit it. But still, you would have to be leaving your computer on 24/7, playing the garden every day. It would be a really intense, draining 1 year run. Maybe if like a team of people wanted to do it, they could, you know, do it without burning themselves out, but I don't know, it might be infeasible for one person. Okay, but, you know, that's enough talking. Let's actually start save scumming our first sugar lump here. And some people that have played this quite a bit might be wondering something, which is, well, how do you save scum a sugar lump? And maybe a lot of people know about this, maybe they don't. But I haven't seen it documented online anywhere, actually. Here's our spreadsheet. Make this pretty small. I normally do this with 2 monitors, but I'm going to be doing it on 1 screen just so you guys can see the first few saves. So let's see. 25 seconds left. Let's port this again. Okay, and we're going to put that right there. Write down the time that we're starting this, so 11:32 p.m. June 14. And right now, there's no point in clicking this because we're going to reload it and lose it. We're going to be, okay, we have maturation time is 20 hours, so we're going to have to start reloading at 7:32 a.m. tomorrow. Okay, so the tricky thing with sugar lumps, and I can demonstrate this right here with the save we just made, is, by the way, easy way to reload a save is you hold Control, then hit OV, Enter. Makes reloading a bunch of times really quick. Anyways, you can see the sugar lump here, it's the same type. That doesn't change. And that's because here's the problem that needs to be solved for lump scumming, which is like the weirdest video game term ever. The sugar lump's type, so whether it's golden, caramelized, bifurcated, normal, is determined when it starts growing, so at the harvest of the previous lump. However, its type does not become visible until, I don't know, like 16 hours in on average or something. Like, for the first many hours of the lump growing, all the different kinds of lumps look identical. And so what we have to do is save hundreds of different games where the lump starts growing at different times. So what we do is click this. We're going to be clicking it while it's mature. So we might lose some and have to, reload. But now we export this. Drop it right there. That's our first save done. We go here, take back our original, reload it, click it, export save, Control C, throw it down there. And we're gonna do this a lot. If we do this a couple hundred times, we'll pretty much be guaranteed to get a caramelized lump. If we do this 1,000 times, then we have a 50-50 chance of getting a single golden sugar lump. So we have a pretty big window of time. We can do this until it automatically falls. So that means we have another 4 hours. So I'm going to be sitting here for those 4 hours, or until I hit 1,000 saves, or until I go crazy and can't do this anymore. It's been a half hour, and it looks like we have like 120, between 120 and 130 saves. So I guess that means we'd have about 1,000 if we did this for the full 4 hours, but I don't think I'm willing to copy and paste the same thing for 4 hours just for a 50% chance of getting a golden sugar lump. So what I'll probably do is just finish off the hour, and that'll give us enough to guarantee a caramelized sugar lump tomorrow. By the way, if you guys, a lot of you probably know this already, but if y'all ever want to actually look at the code for Cookie Clicker, you just go to the web version, inspect it, and then under sources, in a specific file, you can just find all the main code. So right here, it looks like it remembered I was last looking at the sugar lumps code. Here's the function that actually determines what type of lump is growing. And you can see right at the start of the function, it sets the math library's random function calls to a seed, and that's your game seed plus the time at which the previous lump started growing. And so what we're essentially doing with our little spreadsheet here is we're running like hundreds of games in parallel with each other, each one having a sugar lump that started growing at a different time. So we get different outcomes from each of those hundreds of games, and therefore can probably get a better sugar. And one of the reasons I like this strategy is because it forces me to take a break from the game. So like any progress we make right now, it's not going to matter because we're going to be reloading a different game tomorrow at 7:30 a.m. So kind of forces you to take like off days from Cookie Clicker. What's up, y'all? Good morning. Yeah, it's the next day and the sugar lumps are ready, and my cat is making noise. So we still got about 10 minutes left, but Wiki says that actually you can tell the difference between them 5/7 of the way through their growth. So we should be good to actually start loading our saves and looking for weird sugar lumps. Got our first one. It's just bifurcated, but yeah, it's at least better than nothing. Okay, we got it caramelized, and gone through about over 200 saves now, so I was getting kind of worried because that's over the expected value of number of sugar lumps you'd have to go through for a caramelized. Okay, so if we don't get a golden, we at least have a caramelized to fall back on. Alright. The caramelized sugar lump is all ready, so you can't use normal save scumming to get weird sugar lumps, but you can use it just to harvest them. Okay, watch harvest, and then we just reload. I believe caramels can give you 1 to 3. Oh, there we go. All right, we're done. We're for sure gonna get the we're in the garden. Probably want the Pantheon and the Grimoire, and then we're gonna save 1 lump for upgrading the garden 2 more times at the next caramelized sugar lump, because getting the stock market is not terribly important right now. gameplay is going to get really complicated in the next hour or so, because we're also about to purchase Get Lucky. So we're going to have to start working on the garden and golden cookie combos at the same time. For starters, what we can do is save scum to check what golden cookie we have from the grimoire. And it's not a good one. So what we can do is reload back to that point. Purchase something like diminish ineptitude. We could try this one too. Oh, okay, don't want that one. There we go. And now we just wait for it to recharge and we'll get a different golden cookie. So for those of you that have never played the grimoire with save scumming, this is more or less it. There's other tricks that we'll get into later on, but for now that's pretty much what we're gonna do. See if we have a good golden cookie, cast another spell if we don't, and wait for it to recharge. We're gonna be doing a lot of active play, so we're gonna be going with Godzamok Miradol, probably Vomatrax for our third slot. Not terribly important though. And we won't be able to complete the garden until after her next lump scumming, because you literally need a 3x3 area for some of these. This is like the plant mutation chart, and we're going to be completing this thing as fast as possible. Okay, so we got a frenzy, so this is where just kind of the first demonstration of comboing comes in. Since we have Godzamok up, what we can do is just quick sell off 100 cursors. And now we're getting, instead of 7 times production, 14 times production. Just as we go, we're going to be stacking as many of these effects as we can. Good comboing is kind of the heart of cookie clicker strategy, both for save scumming and non-scumming. Just a little trick for those of you that don't know a lot of like the key shortcuts. You can hit Control on your keyboard to go back and forth between single and times 10 purchases, and Shift on your keyboard to go back and forth between single and times 100 purchases. It's just good to know stuff like that, because when you're executing a combo, like 1 second can make a difference. Okay, let's see if we get it. No frenzy. Okay, here we go. Oh my goodness. This is it. Yeah. That's crazy. Whew. I can feel my heart. Okay, first decent combo. You know, it looks like both our baker's wheat are grown. So export save. It's time to start doing some garden scumming. Yeah, so Bakeberry has a 1 in 1,000 chance to mutate in any spot that is adjacent to 2 baker's wheat. We have 2 spots, so say about a 1 in 500 chance. We're gonna have to reload the game 500 times. It's possible that the odds might actually be worse than 1 in 500 for us, because of plant priority. I don't know how that works, but you know, let's just say like, well, in this case, baker's wheat, thumbcorn, and bakeberry can all appear in both of the open spots, and actually a metal weed for that matter. And so like, I presume the game has to check like which plant appears one at a time. And I don't know, if it puts a baker's wheat in there, does it like, will it replace the baker's wheat with a bakeberry, or like, does that just mean the chance for a bakeberry for that round is 0 now? Or if like, will it try to mutate every plant, and if so, you know, if 2 plants try to mutate in the same spot, like a thumbcorn and a metalweed, how does it choose which one to actually populate the spot with? Answering that probably requires some code digging that I'm not going to do. Woo! Okay. We got it. I didn't delete it. Options. Export save. Control C. There we go. And now we're just going to take another second to garden scum. Oh, a thumbcorn. That was fast. Yeah, now we can fit a 2 Godsamox into the combo. So it looks like we'll have enough mid combo to buy some more upgrades. So let's see, 50, 90. Okay, cool. Ah, dang it. Fever Dream. Promising Fate. Sell. Okay, cool. 50 and 90. Okay, looking good. Let's get the kitten. Buy. Sell. Perfect. Okay, cool. Fake Berry is done. Alright, it's past noon, so that brings us to the end of the first 48 hours of the speedrun. So checkpoints are available if y'all want to check them out. Here's the stats for the end of day 2, so we're at 14% for both upgrades and achievements. Yeah, see y'all in the next video. Hey, what's up, y'all? Welcome back. This is starting day 3 of our Cookie Clicker 100% speedrun, which is going to take at least a year, and hopefully exactly 1 year if we play well. And don't worry, I'm not going to be making a video every day for the whole year. For the first few days, just because there's a lot going on, there'll be a video each day, but probably after day 5, it'll be a video every 3-4 days, and after the first like 2 weeks, it'll probably just be a video once a month. I went ahead and brushed up a lot of the buildings, like the next achievement mark, so just to increase our milk level and get a better kitten multiplier. Today's run isn't going to be that eventful. Pretty much just following my software route until the first ascension, so probably only going to check in with y'all every couple hours and probably combine this with the next day or two's content. Alright, Crone Rice is mature, man. But before we harvest it, let's do a quick check. Yeah, okay, it's going to be a while to get this again, so I'm going to go ahead and throw down a thumb corn once we're done with this frenzy and see if we can get a guild millet before harvesting. All right, before we do that though, guys, it's time, it's happening. We got the first quad combo. So we got the frenzy and actually a pretty good building special. And sure enough, this is just luck. I didn't have this thing stored up. I just checked it. We got a click frenzy here, so it resets. Where's the Hand of Fate? Sell, 100. Where is it? Click it. There we go. Holy nuts, man. This is a crazy combo. Buy as many of these things as we can. Buy another 100. Can we get another? Oh, heck yeah, man. Yeah, that we now... So we now have, I think, about 20 times as many cookies baked in total as we did before we started. We got a guild millet now. So currently we're saving up for the all bets are off magic coin. Here's the state of our buildings. Just here's a look at the stats right now. Oh yeah, we hit 100 achievements. Okay, there we go. Metalweed. Only took over 1,000 reloads. At first, my goal before the next sugar lump was just to ascend once, but at this rate, that's going to be pretty easy. So now I'm more curious to see if we can get Dragon Curve before the next sugar lump is mature. Okay, so these are the Crumb Spore and Brown Mold. I think I'm going to stop showing like each individual new plant just because it's getting kind of annoying for me, so I'm imagining it's getting kind of annoying for you guys. Pretty much in short, you can find this chart on the Cookie Clicker wiki, and it just shows you how to make all the plants. I'm pretty much following this and just using save scumming to speed things up. It looks like we could start the Graham Apocalypse right now if we wanted, but I'm gonna hold off on it. I think it actually is usually better to start it, but just we're getting pretty close to ascending, and we got a good thing going here, so I'll worry about the Graham Apocalypse for the next ascension. So it's been a while now without a 4 effect combo. So before, what I was doing was I was working the garden and just kind of waiting for a frenzy building special to occur naturally. But switching it up now, and so now I'm actually waiting. I'm creating this artificially with save scumming now. So I saved the game right when this frenzy started, and then I'm just clicking the next golden cookie. It's about a 1 in 20 chance that it's going to be a building special, and if it's not, I just reset and try again. So I've already been looking for the natural combo for over 40 minutes, and this way at the least should be about 40 minutes to get it. I'm not sure what's going on, but as I've been reloading, these frenzies have been getting longer. See, we started at 2 minutes 38 seconds. Last one was, I think, 3:22, and now it's up to 4:10. I don't know what to make of this. So one thing that might be contributing is when the next golden cookie appears, if it's a frenzy, I'll click export save, save again, and replace the frenzy effect with the new golden cookie's frenzy effect. And originally I was just doing that to kind of help bump the garden along, but might be also having a weirder effect here. Huh. Yeah, look at that. And now what happens if we reload? And it went up again. Okay, well, we just got a building combo, so we're gonna lose this frenzy anyways. But I think I decided that we gotta... I'm gonna call this scum extending an effect. We gotta allow scum extending an effect just because it pretty much happens if you're using scum saving for golden cookie combos. So if we're going to be doing a run with scum saving, it's just going to be annoying if we allow scum saving, but ban ourselves from using scum extension of effects. So if this makes it, you know, the run too easy or too overpowered, then I think the answer should just be that we should play without scum saving. With that being said, we also have a quick frenzy stored up right here, so we can just go ahead and do hopefully this will actually be the last combo before we ascend. Reload. Force the Hand of Fate. Sell off 100 cursors. Alright, there we go. Okay, we gotta get to 440. That's looking pretty easy, actually. Okay, there's Godsmadoc. Buy a bunch of upgrades. Buy 100. Sell 100. Ooh, it's gonna be... This is looking kind of close, actually. Oh my goodness. Buy 100, sell. Oh, we didn't make it. That was close, though. I'm actually gonna... Let's reload and try that one more time. I think we can get 440 here. Please, sell. Oh, 500, sell. Come on, we can make it. Woo, okay, there we go. Whew. That's so cool. Okay. I've mentioned this before, but just a refresher, I'm pretty much just following an ascension guide that you can find on the Cookie Clicker wiki, so big thanks to the people who put time into making this. All listed here. Alright, here we go. Is there anything we should do beforehand? Nah, I think we're good. Alright. That's so cool. Alright. I think we're good to go. Sweet. Lots of achievements. And now we get to see just how fast we can make progress doing this. I mean, you guys get the point. It's a lot faster now. Like, you know, when we did our Never Click in Hardcore, it took a few hours to get to 1 billion. You know, we're at 15 minutes and we're at almost 20 billion. Still just following my little routing software thing, you know, nothing special. So now it's that plus unlocking the dragon should be a lot quicker. We have the grimoire pretty much up and running, and I just got the 3rd of the golden cookie upgrades. So since we're going to allow ourselves to scum extend golden cookie effects, I kind of wanted to see how far we can go with that. Yeah, actually cancel that. Now I'm thinking about it. To just focus on experimenting with scum extending golden cookie effects. It's going to put a dent in our garden time and just kind of waste the effort because we don't have a like frenzy ready, so yeah, we can experiment with that later maybe when we have a little bit more wiggle room, but right now I just want to like tunnel vision in on getting the garden up to speed. Get the fates. And then yeah, this is pretty good. It's getting pretty late. I finished making all the purchases with all the cookies we got from that. And there, you just got to see something super weird, which is when you scum extend an effect, so here, Frenzy, when you get another Frenzy cookie, it refills it all the way. So this was up to like 10 minutes, and then dropped down to 8 minutes, which I think had something to do with the Grimoire. But yeah, so later on in the game, right now I think Frenzy is the only effect we can extend, because as far as I can tell so far, the only way to do this is if the effect is longer than the appearance frequency of golden cookies. But later on, when we have the full garden and golden clovers and whatnot, we should actually be able to, in parallel, scum extend like Frenzy and Dragon Harvest and maybe even like building specials or something else. Yeah, this is a really weird bug. I still don't know how I feel about using it or even strategizing with it in the run, so I'm on the fence about it. Part of me is like, doesn't want to use it because it is a bug, but at the same time, it's like, if you're going to be using scum saving for golden cookie combos, it's impossible. Like, it's pretty much impossible to avoid this. What's up, y'all? It's the next morning. And it's time for us to do our second round of lump scumming, but first, I'm going to change one of the rules. So, I was screwing around with Eternal Frenzy, and first of all, I'm not actually sure it's a bug with the functionality of golden cookies. It might actually just be a bug with how they're displayed. But either way, let's see. I don't know, can you guys see we're this far? You remember our rules we made for the game. I'm crossing off the part that says no glitches. My thought process is just pretty much like, there's two kinds of, you know, speedruns we could do for this game or for any game. One is where, you know, we speedrun the game and play it as intended. No manipulations, no save state reloading, no save scumming, no glitches, no manipulations. And then the other way to speedrun a game is to exploit it and find manipulations and use them. And we're already doing save scumming, so we're already in that category. I'd rather do full-on one or the other. So full-on, we're playing the game as Ortail intended, or full-on, we're looking for bugs, glitches, exploits, clever, unthought of tricks to speed up the game. And I don't want to like manipulate the clock, I don't want to hack, I don't want to cheat, no console, nothing like that. But I don't want to be in this weird gray zone in the middle where we're like, oh, okay, well, some manipulations are okay, but others aren't, and it's just kind of arbitrary which we choose. So from this point on, I want this like to be able to look back on this speedrun, this playthrough, and say, this is what it looks like when you exploit Cookie Clicker as much as possible. And then we also got the Queen beat, so we're pretty much ready, although what sucks is I was really hoping that we could get a Dragon Curve before doing our next lump scumming, but we're just not quite there yet. It's been exactly 1 hour, and we got a little over 300 saves down. It goes a little faster when the sugar lump is ripe, because you don't have to re-click because of botched harvests. Friday morning, game's back up, and it's time to finish off our second round of lump scumming. No golden sugar lump today, but we did get another caramelized, so That's good, because with that at the very least, we will be able to complete the garden. If I can get 3. Oh, there we go. Here. 2 sugar lumps. There we go. 3x3 garden. Right. You're good to ascend. Yeah, this ascension is going way faster than the previous ones. But we got to get our queen beets planted, because we're going to try to get the juicy queen beet on this ascension. And I think we're going to try a Christmas season, just because it has the most achievements you can get. Right, looks like we got our first sprinkler. Alright, just a quick update. It's only been like an hour, but progress is going so fast that I feel like I gotta show you guys what's going on. Oh, speaking of which, good timing. I have been scumming for a good combo, because we got a cookie storm saved up. So let's go ahead and execute that. Alright, this should do it. Yeah, that's a ton of cookie. This is a long cookie storm. Oh, I guess because the cookie storm's in effect, any upgrades we get that increase the duration of golden cookies increase it also. Okay, realized I totally forgot to change the day count. We are on day 4. Almost done with it, actually. Looks like all the queen beets are growing up now. And because of all the buildings we actually have the last type of soil, which gives us more mutations. So we're gonna probably have to scum for a while, but not as much now. There she is. Took about actually half of the resets that would be the average, so this was a pretty lucky juicy queen beet. While I was save scumming the juicy queen beet, which by the way works really well, like each time you save scum a garden tick, you can, you know, for 3 minutes of wait time, you can shave like an hour off of its growth time. Anyways, we got an Elder Frenzy, so I saved like as soon as I, you know, saw that we got it. And super fortunately, I also had a Click Frenzy waiting here in the Grimoire, so, you know, with both of these, you can see we're, you know, like 7 octillion or something. With both together, getting like 80 octillion per click, so we have Godzamok ready to go in the Pantheon also, so yeah, gotta see just how much we can get out of a combo here. Right, load, click, sell, all, cursor, click. Okay. I think I'll take that one. That's pretty good. Hey. Started recording at the tail end of that, but just got super lucky with an Elder Frenzy, and let's see how many deer that took. That was the 59th reindeer. Right, we're over 50% of the normal upgrades, and almost at 50% of the achievements. We're at the end of day 4. Right now I'm just working through the garden, not really in any particular order, and yeah, that's going to close it up for day 4, and I think for this video.
Volkswagen. Hello there, ladies and gentlemen, I'm the Spiffing Brit, and today we're speedrunning Cookie Clicker, but in the dumbest way possible, as we're trying to speedrun the true never click achievement. The goal is simple: how fast can you get 1 million cookies without ever clicking the cookie? You know, the whole core principle of this goddamn video game. Well, using some cheesy exploits, we're going to pull it off today, ladies and gentlemen. But you might be thinking, Spiff, hang on a second, why on earth do you even want this achievement? Why are we speedrunning this? And the reason is simple. You see, 1 year and 1 day ago on May 15th, the lovely and wonderful YouTuber Easy Speezy decided to speedrun this achievement. He managed to do it in 49 minutes and 20 seconds. And today, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to beat him using exploits to perfectly balance the playing field, because whilst he is a professional speedrunner, I am a professional exploiter. So let me explain my setup and then we'll begin this nightmare. Now, you'll notice already that my cookie clicker looks a little bit different to Easy Speezy's, and probably your cookie clicker for that matter. That is because you are currently witnessing Christmas Cookie Clicker. That's right, this is the festive variation of Cookie Clicker, complete with one very important item. You see, in the true never click speedrun, you need to wait to get 2 golden cookies that are going to give you enough cookies to buy your first auto clicker. From that point on, you then have a passive income of cookies and don't have to rely on the golden cookies. But here's the problem: you need 2 of them and they only come once every few minutes, and the odds of you getting the 2 golden cookies that you need are also incredibly slim. So what if instead of waiting for the golden cookies, we move the date and time forward on our PC right before we loaded up the game to Christmas, so that way we waited for reindeers. Now, reindeers aren't golden cookies, they're better, because they give you well over 15 cookies just for clicking on them, meaning you only need to wait for 1 item to fly across the screen for the speedrun to begin. And just using this glorious exploit of moving the date and time forward, we're hopefully going to be able to smash Easy Speezy's speedrun. So, ladies and gentlemen, I've got my clock ready. It's time for us to wipe the save and get the speedrun going. So 3, 2, 1... go! And the clock has begun, and the game is reset, and now we must quite simply wait for the reindeer to cross our screen. I know, an entire reindeer is all we are waiting for. Though I suppose I can use this opportunity to rename my bakery to the greatest bakery the world has ever seen, Greg's. Yes, what a glorious name. We even get an achievement for that. Wonderful. Anyway, we now must wait a random quantity of minutes for a reindeer to fly across the screen, and then I need to click it as fast as possible. The speedrun entirely hinges on this one fact. 1 minute 44 and no reindeers in sight. This is absolutely devastating. The entire game plan relies on one of those lovely, happy, jolly things to waltz across my screen so that I can then rip it into pieces and use its internal cookie-based organs to start destroying the world. I can see that cookie. I want to press the cookie. I'd only have to press it 15 times and then I could get my operation going, but no, I can't possibly do that. That would void the speedrun instantly. Oh, there's the reindeer. Click it, click it, click it. There we go. 25 cookies. Cursor straight away. That took 4 minutes, which is actually on the higher end of the reindeer speedrun. Anyway, now we just quite simply have to wait until we get up to 18 cookies, and then we can get ourselves the second cursor. We're making 0.1 cookies per second, ladies and gentlemen. This is record-breaking speed. Now, we do have an advantage here, which is that golden cookies can also still show up, and we can still click on those, so that we benefit from not only the reindeer, but also the golden cookie. Right, we're just 1 cookie away from being able to get the second cursor. Come on, I'm hammering that cursor. Let me have it, come on, we're almost there. Almost there, cookie game. There we go, second cursor, bam, 0.2 cookies per second now. Oh, we're really breaking the speed records. 6 minutes in and we have 9 cookies. Now, the goal is not to have 1 million cookies saved up. No, it is to produce 1 million cookies, which means the more money we can spend on cookie production, the better. Statistically speaking, we've made 44 cookies. We are very much not close at all to our end goal, but I'll take it. Still, at the same time, you can see that we have clicked 0 cookies, meaning we are on our way for the true never click achievement. Now, the optimal build here is to wait and get 5 cursors, then save up for the reinforced index finger, and then pick ourselves up a grandma. We're pulling close to cursor number 3. Come on, ladies and gentlemen, here we go. Cursor number 3, there we go. 0.3 cookies per second. We're really picking up speed now. The slowest game of cookie clicker you've ever seen. But we don't have to be the fastest. We simply just have to beat Easy Speezy, which is something I believe I can do. Oh, there's another reindeer. Oh, that's 25 cookies. Bam. That's able to get us another cursor even faster. Lovely. That's all the more. That's fantastic. Oh, and there's a golden cookie as well, and that's a frenzy. A frenzy times 7 cookie production for just 4 minutes. Lovely. We're going to be able to get ourselves our 5th cursor way ahead of time. This is absolutely glorious. What we're going to do is we want to save up until we get to 100, so that way we can get this lovely upgrade here. We don't need the
Panasonic.
They say the key to success is committing to one thing. But they don't hold on.
festive hat at all. It really doesn't do anything for us until maybe later on. But the reinforced index finger, this is our first major upgrade, doubling the power of the cursors, doubling our cookie production. We'll bring it up to 7 cookies per second. My goodness. Oh, we are flying now, ladies and gentlemen. We are absolutely cruising along at the speed of light. I will actually buy multiple cursors now just to really benefit the most from this frenzy here. Yes, this is glorious. 11 cookies per second. Right, we're going to save up for a grandma. Save up for that grandmother. Grandmothers know best. Premium grandmothers. Here we are. We have our first grandmother. It's Gam Gam, ladies and gentlemen. Gam Gam is here to slay and bake. She's joined by Edna. Edna, of course, another glorious grandmother. And we're bam, we can get a 3rd grandmother going and another cursor. We're up to 10 cursors now. Glorious. We'll get up to 11. Why not? And then pick up another grandmother. Fantastic. Now we lose the frenzy, but that really has catapulted us into a good position. We're up to 6.2 cookies per second. And from this point on, we basically want to achieve 5 grandmothers. Once we get up to 10 cookies per second, that's when we're going to start saving up and building our way towards the farm. And the easiest way to do this is with a large contingent of grandmothers. Right, bam, we're up to grandmother number 7. And as soon as we get up to grandmother number 8, we're going to start pushing for that farm. And there we go. Glorious stuff. The 8th grandmother is down. We must now simply wait until we get our farm. But how are we doing statistically? Statistically speaking, we've baked 2,106 cookies. This is very, very good indeed. We can get the carpal tunnel prevention cream right now, but it's actually not really worth it. It would only bring up... Oh my goodness, it's another reindeer. That gives us the farm way ahead of time. Lovely stuff. That's the boost we needed. 612 extra cookies inflated into our economy. Now we're up to 18 cookies per second. This is perfect. I'm going to keep saving up until we get ourselves an additional farm, and then it's going to basically be a mix of just building farms and grandmas until we're up to about 100 cookies per second. Here we have it, ladies and gentlemen. Greg's is about to build its 2nd cookie farm. No one really knows scientifically how you can grow cookies from plants, but life finds a way. 26.2 cookies per second. It is fantastic. Time is, of course, clicking on. We're almost up to 15 minutes now, and we can pick up our upgrade for grandma. That's right, we could get forwards from grandma, but in reality, we're going to need another farm. We're aiming for about 11 grandmas and 11 farms to give us the necessary cookies per second to push for the mine. And now it's worth us saving up so that we actually get the rolling pin. That's right, these grandmas are going to be weaponized. Oh, and a golden cookie. Fantastic, lovely. We got the golden cookie. With that, we got a whole bunch of additional cookies, so we're able to buy the rolling pin. With that rolling pin, these grandmas are now additionally effective. Grandmas are making a total of 22 cookies per second. Went up to 50 cookies per second in total, and now it's just about saving up and buying farms. We're making good progress. These grandmas, they're doing gloriously. Alright, we're up to 5 farms now. This is lovely. Oh, and there's another reindeer. Come on. There we go. That's 3,000 cookies. That's another free farm straight away. And that's another additional farm we're just going to be able to throw straight on out as well. 7 farms in total now. We are making absolutely fantastical progress. Alright, we're doing good. Statistically, we've made 22,000 cookies. We're about to cross the threshold into making 100 cookies per second. And now we start waiting for the mine. Here we go. That's just 11,000 cookies. That's enough to buy a mine straight away. Thank you, Mr. Reindeer. That's lovely. 20 minutes in and we are producing 245 cookies per second. This is going very well indeed. The aim is about 20 grandmas, 15 farms and 5 mines. So we might as well buy some more grandmas. Why not? Picked up the mine. This is lovely stuff. Another additional farm. We're up to 344 cookies per second now. It's exactly the kind of profits that we need. Oh, another reindeer. Come on, reindeer. That's 29,000 cookies. Okay, that's an additional mine. Lovely. We're up to 5 mines now. Adds 586 cookies per turn. turn with the 6th mine in. 25 minutes also on the clock. This has been going very, very well indeed. Okay, I'm going to be saving up for the fertilizer now, which is going to double the efficiency of our farms, increasing the total cookies produced up to 400 per second for the farms, which is very important for us and much more efficient than an actual factory. We've so far produced 250,000 cookies, so we're actually approaching the quarter mark for the actual achievement here, and our efficiency is relatively decent. I mean, this probably isn't the most optimal way of doing this actual speed run, but so far our luck has been relatively good. I mean, it's not quite dream level of luck. I mean, I could have just entered into Cheat Engine and given myself everything, but you know, it's still very decent. We've also gained the ability to get farmer grandmas. That's right, farms are going to gain increased clicks per second per grandmas that we own, meaning if we were to pick that up right now, farms would be getting an extra plus 18%, which is actually incredibly beneficial. And there we go, that's 1,000 cookies per second. We've achieved the Cookie Monster achievement. We are making very good progress, up to 300,000 cookies baked of all time, and now we're going to have to basically aim for the mines. I want these mines to be twice as efficient. Oh, there's the reindeer. Great, that's 61,000 from the reindeer. That is absolutely fantastic. This has put us incredibly close to sugar gas, which is exactly what we need to upgrade our mines, and that's also put us up to 400,000. We're almost halfway to our ultimate goal, and now we're up to 1,300 cookies per second. We need more mines to produce way more. Yes, this is fantastic. Right, there we go, that's another mine down. Mines are now producing 94 cookies per second. Oh, there's a golden cookie. Bam! That's a frenzy. That's a frenzy. Ladies and gentlemen, everything has just massively been improved. We can just spam out grandmas. We're making 12,000 cookies per minute now. Farms out. I want farms. We're up to 14,000 cookies per second. This is it. This is going to be what allows us to throw ourselves over the line. 15,000 cookies per second. Oh yes, that's another mine. That's another farm. Let's get some more grandmas going.